I'm going to try to make another pattern off of a photo that I saved I don't know how long ago, and I'm not sure how this is going to go, but it should be pretty cool. Hello and welcome, this is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL, and today we're working off of another photo. This time we actually know who the artist is. It's the Maddest. Pretty sure this came from Instagram. It's another screenshot grab of mine. Let's straighten it up so we can put it over with my graph paper. We need to figure out how far to rotate this. Kind of need it going straight up and down. You can see I gave myself a little bit of a guideline so I could judge. Yeah, that's pretty close. So now it's rotated. We don't need all of it. It just repeats itself. Oh, we're stuck on that fixed thing. There we go. Control C. Come over here. Control V. Wow. Okay, so that's, again, it's really small. I'm not even sure we can actually do the flip with this thing. But yeah. There we go. Scale it, and now we can anchor that. Alright, so obviously Maddest did this in all blues, and I think that's just going to make our life difficult on us. So there seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. So let's start with a red and just 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and in, and then we'll do an orange, nice bright happy one. Consider 1, 2, 3. I think that is the gist of our pattern here. Okay. So this is not going to be very difficult to draw out, and obviously the mapping this is really easy. You can just follow these colors along. You can obviously tell I have not practiced this yet or tried to figure it out beforehand. This is just me working from a photo, and yeah, this is pretty cute. I get it. This is one of those patterns that would be really good because let's say you want to find out how big to make your graph paper, right? This just repeats itself as many times as needed, and then afterwards you could figure out exactly how long you want your thing to be. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so we got red and orange for the middle colors. Let's go with like blue and purple for the outer, right? So it's obvious the one, there's this color out here, just goes around it all. Oh, you know what? I may have actually miscalculated how... No, I was going to say maybe I miscalculated the number of strings, but no, this looks right. I get it. So again, this is going to be another color that's super easy to follow where it goes. It's just doing this zigzag thing through here, right? I mean, that's when it comes to bracelet design, sometimes you get these real winners where it's just so easy to figure out what it's doing. right? That's pretty simple. The same will be going on the other side. And if I'm not mistaken, it is this same color here that ends up in the center of these. And if you look, it just bounces off of this corner right here, or switches up either way because it's the same color. It wouldn't matter. Yeah, this looks like the kind of pattern that would go kind of quickly, very repetitive, very repetitive, but that it would go very quickly. And honestly, this is, you know, if you haven't like half figured out how to do the pattern yourself already, I don't know. I mean, all right. And then the last color, we said we would do a purple, kind of a nice shade there. So that would be just out here doing this. There's obviously going to be a couple of strings in there that are just floating along doing nothing. You can kind of base them on whatever string you think is going to get used the most. I'm going to take a look here and see. Yeah. Let's do this. I love it. All right. And then obviously I'm running way ahead, but filling in the underlying strings to this, again, is really super easy. All right. So now it'll be a case of seeing how these colors that flip back and forth, what do they do at the end? Is this the way the Mattiest had her ending? I don't know. I couldn't see it in the photo. So, I'm not really sure. But this is how I've done it. And this way, we have this really cool starting to it. It doesn't just like an abrupt end or whatever. Ends up kind of neat. I'm going to fill in these underlying strings here. Here, I'll tell you what, I'm going to fill in the underlying strings and then we're going to see if we can't flip this thing. I'll be right back. I don't know how, but somehow or another I lost all the audio that went to the last of this video. So I'm going to kind of fill you in on what's going on. Yeah, I sped this up and it went together super easy. It turns out I had room for colors on both sides. So like I added a red where there wasn't one and added an orange where there wasn't one of those, which makes it a lot easier to make my kumis. So that was pretty cool. And then I added in another purple because that gets used a lot. So yeah, this went together super fast. And then when it came time to trying to flip this thing over, I was concerned because of the way the rope-like thing in the center works. And so I just basically, I flipped it, dragged it down, and it was not right. And I'm like, okay, but what if I flip it horizontally? And so I went back to the flip tool, horizontal, and then it just it was perfect. So then I needed the move tool to shift it over a couple pixels, get it all nice and lined up, and I anchor the layer, and that is it. It really turned out super cool. This is a pretty easy pattern, I think, overall for making it wise. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff. Join Patreon. That would be awesome. Or, you know, just go to my shop and just buy a bracelet for yourself or for a friend. Whatever. All kinds of ways you can support the channel. So, yeah. Thanks again for hanging out this long. Yeah, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this pattern. If you want to see more patterns, or maybe you have an image you want me to work from, let me know over on Discord. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.